What's going on, everybody? It's your boy J-Man back checking in with the people. Now, as next generation quickly approaches, we've been getting a lot of rumors and speculation about what's going on the inside of these next generation consoles. Now, I'm not one to sit up here and report on rumors and speculation. I hate stuff like that because it's rumors and speculation. When it comes to like specs for hardware, I really don't care about rumors and speculation. I want the cold hard facts. So that's why we've been waiting for PlayStation and Xbox to give us what we want to hear. Now, PlayStation on one hand, they've been dragging their feet, all right? PlayStation meeting for the PlayStation 4 took place in February. And now with PS5 coming, February is almost over and the PlayStation meeting is nowhere in sight. We got a couple articles last year where they gave us some surface level stuff. They talked about the AMD technology. They talked about the SSDs, backwards compatibility a little bit, but we kind of want them to go more in depth about those details and kind of give us some more numbers about what we're going to be working with the PlayStation 5, whether it be price, maybe teraflops, how big the SSD drive is going to be, how fast it is, still, stuff like that. Get more descriptive about what's going on. Now, PlayStation then pulled out of a couple upcoming events, and they said they're not going to E3, and they said there's hundreds of other events that they're going to attend this year to get fans a look at what's going on for next generation and what's coming up this year. PAX East was the next one coming up in February. Actually, I think it's this weekend. They pulled out of PAX East. We all know coronavirus has been a concern. They stated that was pretty much the reason. They want to keep their staff safe, and coronavirus has been present in Boston. But then you had the, I believe it was the governor or the mayor of Boston came out and said that, it's under control and they should rethink it. But I doubt they're going to, go back after they already pulled out. Next up, we had GDC, which takes place in March. PlayStation already pulled out of that, citing the same concerns, coronavirus. They not playing with this thing, all right? And at this rate, I wouldn't be surprised if they pull out of more events coming up later this year just because of the coronavirus stuff. If they're taking it that serious and if this thing continues to spread, why would they stay? You know what I mean? Why would they continue to do these events? So we don't know when the hell PlayStation is going to show us what the hell is going on with the PlayStation 5. At this rate, they might as well set up a camera in the backyard with some science fair project boards and a Blue Yeti and talk to us on a live stream because they ain't gonna be showing up nowhere. So I don't know what's happening. And then on the other hand, you got Xbox. I feel like Xbox has been doing a great job actually of trickling out the information with the Xbox Series X. We had them talk about it at E3, and then they brought it up again at the Game Awards, which was a big surprise. They showed us what the box is going to look like, talked about it a little bit more there, and then a few months down the line, now we have an article from Xbox that is stating more about the specs and some features that you can expect coming up in the Xbox Series X. Still no price yet. Still no price, and we all know PlayStation seems to be waiting for Xbox to announce their price so they can, try and be competitive with that. At the same time, maybe even making a profit. Still no price, but they did give us some solid spec information, not rumors, something that we can hang our hats on of, what can we expect in the Xbox Series X. Now, I'm not going to bore you with the intro. Phil Spencer talks about the next generation, the future of gaming being exciting, and they want to give us more information about what's going on in the next gen hardware. Now, for starters, they talked about the next generation custom processors. Xbox Series X is their most powerful console ever, powered by the custom designed processor leveraging AMD's latest Zen 2 tech and the RDNA 2 architectures, delivering 4 times the processing power of an Xbox One and enabling developers to leverage 12 teraflops of GPU. That was a big quote right there because 12 teraflops have been rumored and speculated over 1,000 times on these YouTube streets, dog. Like everybody's been talking about 12 teraflops, and it was a heavy rumor. But they have confirmed that it will be 12 teraflops of GPU processing performance. And that's big, you know what I mean? That's big. We all know teraflops is not the end all be all, but it shows that it's twice the power of the Xbox One X, 8 times the power of the original Xbox One. So power is always good, but you got to have that talent to back it up. You know what I'm saying? So good to know that 12 teraflops is confirmed. They talk about variable rate shading. They say our patent form of VRS empowers developers to more efficiently utilize the full power Xbox Series X rather than spending GPU cycles uniformly to every single pixel on the screen. They can prioritize individual effects on specific game characters or important environmental objects. This technique results in more stable frame rates and higher resolution with no impact to the final image quality. So we'll see how they utilize that. Seems like a cool feature. They talk about hardware accelerated DirectX ray tracing. We all know ray tracing has been a big thing with these new graphics cards for PC. It's very demanding. So I'm very interested to see how they implement this on the console level as we see what it does to graphics cards and PCs. So that shit is demanding as hell. So definitely interested in seeing how that's going to go. Now we move on to some other things that we kind of already knew about as well. They talk about the SSD. We knew about that already. Quick Resume, which is a feature that lets you continue multiple games from a suspended state almost instantly. Now, this feature, I believe, is in PlayStation 4 already. I don't know about Xbox One. I don't have one of those. But this feature on PlayStation 4, I believe, can only allows you to do one game. It can let you continue one game from a previous suspended state. Now, this seems to promise multiple games. The more, the merrier. Dynamic latency input. They're optimizing latency in player to console pipeline, starting with the Xbox wireless controller, which leverages our high bandwidth proprietary wireless communication protocol when connected to the console. With dynamic latency input, a new feature which synchronizes input immediately with its display, what is displayed, controls are even more precise and responsive. That's great. Nothing pisses me off more than when you're playing a game and you move the controller and the response on the display or things like that is behind. It's too far behind. We want things to be one-to-one, want things to be instant. I know with the cloud gaming, that's a big thing for me. Is why I won't get into cloud gaming too much, is because I'm not one to play with that latency, dog. That breaks immersion very, very quickly for me. So if they're going to improve that natively and for the cloud stuff, great. HDMI 2.1 innovation. I'm pretty sure you guys know what HDMI is. 2.1. They're partnering with TV manufacturers to enable the best gaming experience through features such as auto low latency mode, variable refresh rate, and stuff like that. So that is good too. It helps out with latency and things like that. 120 FPS support. I believe the Xbox One X has 120 FPS support. Will games utilize this though? I'm not sure. I don't think any game on Xbox One X was 120 FPS, but I can see games on the Series X being 120 FPS with the more graphic, the CPU and the GPU being much stronger and better. They can start pushing these games to higher frame rates, and that's what I hope they do. 30 FPS is old shit. It's other paths we need to move the hell on. 60 FPS is where it's at, and up. But I know some of these developers are gonna want they graphically and graphic heavy cinematic games, and if those visuals is popping, that game might be running at 30 FPS. No, that game might be running at 30 FPS, but it's gonna look beautiful with all that with that power behind it. What else? Next generation of game compatibility. So we have 4 generations of gaming. So they're continuing with the support for backwards compatibility. Cool. They're saying you can play your Xbox games, your OG Xbox games, your 360 games, your Xbox One games, and they will all play and look better than ever before without any work from the developer. So you pop those discs in, you load those digital games up from the previous generation, and the hardware within the Series X will automatically make those frame rates steadier, faster loading times, improve resolution and visual fidelity. So rest in peace to remasters. Next generation. And actually, this next feature that I'm going to talk about furthers that initiative. Remasters are going to be that much harder to get away with in the next generation, with these consoles making these games look that much better, running at a better frame rate, faster loading times and stuff. The next feature that I want to talk about is the smart delivery. Now, smart delivery, and I'm going to read Xbox's quote of smart delivery, and I want y'all to let me know if this sounds familiar. Because when I read it, I said, oh, they some slick motherfuckers. They real slick, real sly, but I give them credit. Because Apple, they be doing the same shit. So, smart delivery. This technology empowers you to buy a game once and know that whether you are playing it on Xbox One or Xbox Series X, you are getting the right version of that game on whatever Xbox you're playing on. We're making the commitment to use smart delivery on all our exclusive Xbox Game Studios titles, including Halo Infinite, ensuring you only have to purchase a title once in order to play the best available version for whichever Xbox console they choose to play on. This technology is available for all developers and publishers, and they can choose to use it for titles that will release on Xbox One first and come to Xbox Series X later. Now take a second and let me know if you think that feature sounds familiar, because to me, this sounds exactly like cross-buy. Now, cross-buy has been a feature that's been around for years. Now, in terms of how it was implemented, what games took advantage of it, you can debate whether, it was good or not. But in terms of the actual feature, it's been there on PS3, on PS4 for PS3 games and Vita games. Certain games, there's actually a whole section in the PlayStation Store that if you buy them on PS3 or Vita, you get a copy on PlayStation 4 that you can also pick up. You know what I mean? So this feature has been around. Xbox just took it and renamed it to something else. And what they're doing that's smart is that they're talking about their first party games. They're talking about Halo Infinite, which is a big AAA blockbuster game for them. And they open it up to developers and publishers. And another smart thing that came out today was that Cyberpunk 2077 will be utilizing this feature. So if you buy Cyberpunk on Xbox One, which it comes out later in September, right before the new hardware comes out, you'll be able to play that game on Series X day one once that drops. You just got to download it and it'll be there for you to play. So that's smart that they're utilizing the AAA games to advertise this technique, because with PS3 and PS Vita, it was a lot of indie titles. I admit it was a lot of indie titles that were a part of that catalog, that if you buy it on PS3 or Vita, you get the PS4 version. Now, I think Destiny for a time period had a promotion where if you had the PS3 version, you can get the PS4 version for free. And I believe a couple other AAA games did it, but it was a very, very small section of games that did it. And on top of that, this kills the whole upgrade fee that they were doing from the PS3 games to the PS4. Like Assassin's Creed, I think Call of Duty had this. If you wanted to play that same game on PS4, you had to pay an upgrade fee. So no longer can you get away with remasters, and no longer can you get away with upgrade fees for cross-generational games. I'm glad that Microsoft is kind of putting putting this feature in the spotlight, because it's true. You know what I mean? These remasters a lot of times are just resolution bumps, frame rate bumps. And if the hardware can already do that, as we've seen with the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, why the hell are you selling me a remaster like that? These remasters, if they're going to make one, are going to have to be night and day differences. You know what I mean? It's going to have to be something where you be like, okay, they took this, they worked it, it took some time for them to do this, and we can tell this ain't just a simple resolution bump, frame rate bump. They actually took some time, went in and did some of the assets up and things like that. Or simply make a remake. And the remakes will be more acceptable, because those will be looked at as totally new games. So a lot of interesting stuff, coming from Xbox. I'm glad they were able to confirm a lot of the speculation and rumors, because that's all we've been getting over the past few months. Now we just waiting on PlayStation to let us know what's going on with the PlayStation 5. Xbox, they're coming from a losing perspective from last generation, so I think they're hitting it out the park when it comes out to this rollout of the Xbox next generation hardware. And I think the price, they're going to wait until E3 to try and compete with PlayStation 5 being $500, because I think PS5 is going to be $500, and if they can get the Series X down to $500, I think that'll be a massive W for them, just in the moment, and having that goodwill with the fans of providing a very powerful hardware at a competitive price. What else is on the market? You know how that all went last time with PlayStation 4. So at this point, I'm rambling. This video damn near 15 minutes. But yeah, let me know down in the comment section what you guys think about these confirmed specs and features of the Xbox Series X. Make sure y'all rate the video, share it out, let the people know what I'm doing over here, man. Putting out videos. What? I'm putting out, and I'm beating games too. And I'm beating games. I think I'm at like 5 games beat on the year. So don't let the people tell you I ain't out here playing games. Shit, y'all might even catch a stream from me real soon. You know what I mean? I'm trying to, turn it up. I'm trying to turn it up. So support the kid, and I'll catch y'all in my next video. Peace.